All right, everyone. Shalom and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. The title, Zion, Jerusalem, shall be called holy. Zion and Jerusalem shall be called holy. And we're going to be coming from the book of not Jeremiah, Isaiah chapter 3 and Isaiah chapter 4. Okay. I was just sitting down, just listening to a YouTuber called Go Back to Africa. I know you all probably heard him before, or you might have seen him before. Go Back to Africa. He's a man that is always putting Africa way and beyond, beyond. I mean, put them on one of the highest pedestals as far as a place to go and really get this peace and this joy. He always videoing from Africa. He's from uh, the United States, but somewhere in him he feels Africa is it. You know, it's all that and some. And I noticed in the last his last two videos, I can discern that he is struggling. He's struggling because, as I said unto you all once before, there's no place you're going to be able to go to and get that peace or to get that joy. It is impossible. And no, 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 no. Let me get that right. Let me get that right. I'm speaking of he that is founded as a under the Most High Yah, as the Most High Yah servants, his elects, his chosen one. I speak of others outside of that. Yes, they can go anywhere in the world and rest themselves into any place that they desire and get that fleshly peace, that fleshly enjoyment, okay, that fleshly good time, or how would I say, whatever you can get in the flesh. So those who are born of the flesh, they can pretty much uh, embrace joy and peace because a lot of times what uh, they have, they have, how would I say it? They have mold their mind to believe that that is joy and peace, is having money and having wealth and having uh, uh, people who are putting them on pedestals or giving them praise. A lot of time that's people's so-called peace and joy, but behind it all, hell is on their back. Like they say, the monkey on their back. Oh yes, but a lot of times you won't see it until something happened, and then you can see that the monkey been riding their back for quite a long time. But these are people who are already sold themselves over, meaning that they have already showed the world that they are for the world and of the world and with the world and live the world, and has embraced the world peace and its joy and its happiness. But this young man, he's not a young man, but he's about my age, and he have been on YouTube for quite a while. And his name, I don't know his name, but it's Go Back to Africa. And what I'm saying is, anyone who wants to view his last video, but somewhere or another, I decided to just sit down and listen to his last and the one before the last video. And I realized that no matter where you go, I didn't realize it. I come to the conclusion that a lot of these people are running a lot of their, I call loud mouth, okay? And they want to make you think life is better on the other side. Can't be. Because I believe the Most High is dealing with the four corners of the whole world. And what that means is if he knows that the four corners has he has dispersed on the four corners those that in which he's coming for, then therefore Africa is included as the four corners. So it's, you can't just go over in Africa and think that you're going to find peace and joy and all this so happiness and leave out the Most High Yah and what has been said about how he's going to gather heathens from the four corners. That also show you when Sister Deborah say the four corners, that's also kind of let you know that a lot of people just telling you to go to Africa, they this, you can live this, you can get land this, you can get this, you can get this, you can get this. The West or the United States is this. That's a lie from the pit of hell. That is a lie from the pit of hell. The same thing is on the four corners. That if it's not in Africa, then Africa is not included in the four corners in which the Most High is going to gather his remnant. So that would be said, it would be said Africa is out of it. So that's why I say unto you, a lot of times when people are trying to get you to go over to these other countries, you have to think about, if you want to go over there, what is your reason really to, what is your whole idea of going over to these other countries? Or are you trying to beat the Most High at his own will? Or are you trying to make the Most High a lie? Or are you trying to tell the Most High, look, I know a place I could go. They say peace, happiness, joy, and I can live, and this don't have to be under this captivity with United States. Well, a lot of people don't know the four corners in which the Most High is seeking his small remnant. The same thing is happening in the United States. Is happening among those locations in which the Most High is going to collect what belongs to him. Okay, the small remnant. And when you hear a lot of flesh mouth, and that is people who are in the flesh saying, oh, if we over here, it's not like that, like it is in the West. It's a lie, y'all. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a reason why the four corners is included into the Father's ideal of his small remnant. He's going to gather them. And if we sit and we rather believe the flesh of man telling us, oh, come over here, it's nice, it's peace, it's joy, you can get land, you can get this, and you can get that. Same way in the United States. You have to have a different mindset when you're going out to purchase land, or you want to go and you want to have a place far out in the woods or far away from the city and the suburb. I don't think it's nothing wrong with that, but you have to know that you are putting the Father first and foremost. You have seek ye the kingdom, and all that he's going to give you is what he said he would add unto you. You best bet he's not going to let you get peace out in the woods. He's not going to let you get joy, these things in which he said that you are in a land of your oppressor, or you are under this curse. And then he'll allow you to go and live and build and plant and get all that you want, to erase his mighty word. Now, a lot of people hang real high in Torah. Now, this is founded also in Torah. Torah is the Deuteronomy 28 in the end game. And in Torah, as a lot of scholars and those who call themselves learned in Hebrew and Greek, in the Bible itself, they like to run to Torah. But they can't, to me, foolish people run to Torah to try to justify today, to try to clarify today, to try to identify today. I call those people foolish because Torah in the first book of Genesis, chapter 1 and chapter 2, and then the first the end of Torah is Deuteronomy, and you can't even digest the end game in Deuteronomy 28. You can't even embrace Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. I heard this which you hear on YouTube all over now, all over the place, says something regarding if you miss Genesis, you're lost. And I'm like saying, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. See, when you thinking people are not listening, they're listening. And it's not important to say that they can't say that. If they say that, they speaking truth. Sister Deborah don't have no problem with nobody speaking truth. But what I have a problem with is you got to live on that truth. You got to bring that truth into righteousness. You got to ride that truth into spirit and truth. You got to give the glory to my Father. You got to give him the honor, not give it to the people that you recognize that Genesis is a chapter. If you really haven't gotten the beginning of the Genesis, you messed up anyway. See, Sister Deborah been saying that to you all. But I believe the glory and the honor in being able to understand that if you miss Genesis 1 and 2, it has to be given to the Father. It has to be given to his honor. It has to be, he has to get the praises for that. He has to get the honor and the glory, you know, and being thankful for him revealing that, not man saying it and people listening to man say it and they thinking, oh, he brought them to a new knowledge. Sister Deborah can't bring you to a new knowledge. The knowledge that is spirit has always been there. The knowledge that is wisdom, it has already been there. It's spirit. Spiritual wisdom has always been there. Spiritual knowledge has always been there. Spiritual understanding has always been there. Why? Because it is the Most High Yah himself. He is the word, he is the spirit, and spirit and truth has always been there. So we can't get no glory, we can't get no honor. When we learn to give that glory and that honor to whom it is due, it's due to all that power. It's due to the one that holds all that power. And stop trying to take the power ourselves to get the glory. Okay. As I was saying about this this brother, I can say a brother because he said some things that make me be able to say that he's a brother. He says, go back to Africa. I do not follow him. I have not subscribed to him. It's just so happened he was talking the other day and I kind of felt sad for him. And then he was talking today. I was listening to him and I still felt sad. And both times he was on there longer than he normally would be on there. He's normally on there for like 10 minutes. But lately, the two last videos, he was on there an hour and some an hour and minutes. And I think the other, the second from the last, he was on there an hour and something. But what he's saying now is he's over in Africa. He's still trying to give Africa the peace and the joy. But you can hear him in his voice and in the troubles he's having in Africa. And he's now kind of, if you just listen, if you just hear him out, you see that he is still yet finding, you can tell he's finding out that you can't go nowhere and get no peace, bro. You can't go nowhere and get no joy. You can't go nowhere thinking these people are different from these people. Let me tell y'all something. Don't let nobody put you in a little black box and make you think that you in the box, but those that's out of the box is better than you are, or they know more than you, or they have more than you. They got the light, they got the truth, they ain't got nothing. They foolish people. They're foolish people. And I was listening to him today, and he was talking about today he was talking about how ways of Africa is so much like America. And I'm like, wait a minute, no, you ain't saying that after you putting Africa on a big old pedestal. Why? Because now he lives there. He's getting and it's several African American men that has left United States to go over there and do all these videos and travel all over Africa. 1 minute you can see them. They are so lukewarm, y'all. They are so in between the fence. Because see, they want you to see Africa away once they live there. It is not. And now they understand it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You mean they like this over here? Yes. That's you trying to put Africa up on a pedestal. Africa is a wicked place. Let me set another example. You hear people talking about this is where I know a lot of these people who talk on this level are ill people in the spirit realm. They're ill. They don't have no sense. Is they saying that a lot of Europeans are moving from out of the United States over to Africa and the Caribbean land, and they moving. When you go to the airport, that's all you see is Europeans, Gentiles, Europeans moving to Africa, moving to the what is it? Other islands where melanated people reside. And they say you go, and that's all. Their airports are full of Europeans. You all don't get it, do you? You all do not get it. And as I listen to several of the people thinking it's so nice that they know that that's the best place to be. They know that that's the safe place to be. That's the great place to be. Baby, please. These Europeans it's moving over to Africa and over to these Caribbean islands is not because they like you. They know that you're going to let them have their way and you're going to be slaves unto them until you die. They know that. They know anything they do. They run into a place where they get all honor. They get put up on pedestal. They get all this high respect. That's why they go into Africa. You all do not understand. Africa is one of the biggest, what you call Uncle Tom continent on the face of the earth. Let me say it again. Africa is the biggest Uncle Tom on the face of the earth. Continent is on the face of the earth. Anything the other countries where these Europe, China, German, any one of them, any of them come over there, they can get it pretty much whatever they want. Why? Russia, because Africa is the biggest Uncle Tom on the continent on the face of the earth. It has always been. And when you sit and you think about the West or the United States and how we are over here because of the things that they have put upon us has went beyond the order of the Father, but the Father okayed it. When I say he okayed it, he allowed it. So that's another thing we have to see, that the Father knew. He told Abraham that we was going to come in the land that he knew not of, nor our forefathers, and a language we knew not. So if Yah is putting us in an area where we knew or not, a land that we knew not, and language we knew not, then therefore wherever we are at, whatever language there is that is around us and in the midst of it, Yah is not going to hold us guilty because he put us in a land that we knew not of, nor our forefathers, nor the language thereof. So what even though we're here, we might say things that they have taught us, and they also speak, but you got to understand, Yah knew it way back in Genesis when he told Abraham. These are the sort of things people don't think of. These are the sort of things you're not going to get from a lot of those that are out here on these devil platforms. They so busy giving you their dreams and their visions. They so busy giving you those sort of things because they see that it makes the money that they need, okay, to take care of their families and to survive. They found the niche. A lot of you all don't understand. They found what the little niche was with YouTube. If I can give them everything outside of food for the spirit, if I can give them everything outside of spirit and truth, if I can lead them anywhere in the world outside of to the light that leads to life, if I can lead them anywhere, I can take them all in my visions, all in my dreams. I can take them everywhere, but they are not taking the people, or nor have they to the bosom of the Most High Yah. Nor are they taking them to the pin needle of light, that little needle of light might lead them to the narrow gate. They won't take them there. They want you, they take these, they teach people and they preach to these people, them, me, my way, my way, my way. Yah has not sent nobody on this earth to just do visions and dreams year after year. The reason why they're doing it is because they see a great need in Europeans, Gentiles, heathens, and people call themselves Christians, people who call themselves believers. They see that, hey, they really honor my dreams. They really honor my visions. They really are eating it up. So it becomes an addiction to them to give you the type of food that you need. And you taking on their food of visions and dreams 24/24, guess what? They can't stop now. They are addicted to it. They have to keep giving you what you keep showing them you need. That's the only way they're going to get their check at the end. Same thing with topics. They're not going to give you topics that carry spirit and truth. They're not going to give you topics that's in the light. Let's get back to this guy. Go back to Africa. And I felt sad, and I'm going to tell you something. I laughed, but something told me, don't laugh, Deborah, don't laugh. I laughed because, and I did, because I sat and I listened to him. I was pretty much laughing because he all his videos about come go over to Africa, Africa this, Africa that, Africa this. You need to get out of America, Africa this, Africa that. And now his last videos is telling you pretty much now, what now? You've been there long enough, now you seeing it for what it is. And the part that they're seeing is a part that shows exactly what I was saying. Africa is the biggest Uncle Tom continent on the face of the earth. They will cross you out, even as their own people, and take whatever the white man says to be the answer, the truth. If you can see how Catholics have taken over Africa, it's no way you're going to get over there and live the way you're trying to tell people all this, all that, and all that. It's no way. Because the people, the way the people communicate shows who's behind, what clout is behind them in their lives, and how they're not wanting anything. There are people who, a lot of them don't want anything. A lot of them just content right where they're at, in the same environment, in the same slump. They don't want anything because it's been like this for a long time, y'all. Longer than what we've been in captivity. It's been like that for them. So it's become the norm. It's okay. Okay. So, but he said, you know what he said, you guys, if you can find time today, he has on a blue shirt today. His video is about 1 hour and 20 something minutes, something like that. And it is go back to Africa. Just hear what he's saying and just listen to it. But one part that I pulled out that I thought was off the chain, you know what he said? He said, I'm glad I'm losing my mind. That's why I can call him my brother. Because several things he said in there, he could not have said not knowing. He knows something. No, he might not have the fullness, but that's okay. That's okay. When he said, I'm glad, he said, I'm glad I'm losing my mind. I like that. Because I told y'all, that's Deuteronomy 28 end game. Destroy. Because the moment, let me tell you, the moment the Father has mastered the end game, and the end game was to lose the mind, which we have 100%, I would say. This is how we're going to get up out of here, you guys. That's how he's going to come and get us. That's how he's going to come and get us. And just to hear that brother announce that, he probably don't even know he said what he said. But if you will go there and just listen to him and listen to some of the things he's saying, and then you'll see him go on both sides saying Africa this, but then the truth start coming out at the end. And then the video he had the day prior, that was another one that blew me off. I said, wait a minute now, this is Africa you put up here. He's talking about how their mindset is not geared to doing or learning or moving forward. It's never been, you guys. As a little girl, 4 years old, I used to always fantasize going to Africa and taking care of all the poor children. And as time went on and on and on in my life, I learned a Sudan, but not just Sudan, but not Sudan, Ethiopia and other parts of Africa. I began to just learn. And as I learned, there was a people that couldn't get past a certain line. They couldn't get, and so since they couldn't get past a certain line, they rest right there in the dust, right where they were. And that's how I see Africa. I don't care what Ghana, wherever you go, where you see the city where it's built and they doing this and doing that. No. The hand of the Europeans is heavily on that continent. They got it locked, and they have never let Africa go. That's just Black people thinking and feeling and wanting Africa to be set free. Africa is not. And that's why it was easy for Africa to sell Israel over to the European, because they would do anything for the Europeans, for the European sake. If the Europeans told them, well, we want everybody head in the bag, Africa would have put every one of y'all Negro tails ahead in the bag with no problem. That is who Africa is. It has always had an iron fist over them. Their whole continent, all the stuff you see that's like this, they're not running anything, baby. Just like they passed this law about the LGBT. That's a setup, baby. All that is a setup. That's all a setup. They ain't taking on, you know how many presidents was assassinated and died in the last 2 years because they stood for a little or something, right? They killed them. This Africa knows, at least these so-called politics in Africa already know we got to do what the Gentiles, the heathens, and the Europeans, what they tell us, or else. They know that. And they passed this real strict law over in Africa about LBGTYN and all that, whatever you call it, and what they can and cannot do, or else they're going to go to jail. This is what on all nationwide television about what Africa did. African, baby, please. That is a setup. The United States, along with Russia and all of them that goes to the table, they got the media spreading that. Okay, that Africa standing up for itself, or Africa or in control of they're getting in control of their continent. They would never, ever be in control of nothing. First and foremost, when they were partaker in the curse itself, they're not getting away with it. Yes, some of our people were remained there in Africa during the time that their land was sieged, and everybody ran toward Africa. Okay, but many stayed, was left there. But Africa themselves, they have a thing for us, a hate, just like anybody else. And I don't understand why is it that the Americas over here, these how would you say it, Hebrews over here in America think that those African people care for them. And I listened to this man go back to Africa talk, his not this last one, but the one before that. He's talking about how they don't, in a sense, respect African Americans. Baby, you don't know the history in the spirit and truth. See, that's why I tell you all, people don't know spirit and truth of the whole matter. That is the word of Yah. That is Yah himself opening you up to see and hear what is and what is not. The truth of the whole matter. And the truth of the whole matter, Africa never had no care, no what you would call love for Israel. They knew who you were. They knew exactly how that they can get rid of you because they allowed the British and was it Iran or Iraq, one of them, British and United States was part of it, to come over and seize Israel from over in their air, not seize, but take them on ships. And if you go to Africa, this is the part that bothers me more than anything, you guys. This bothered me more than anything. You got all these Negro men running over there to the Africa, and they go there and they travel and they see the port where they had the slaves until the oppressors come over to take them away. You should have seen what Africa had the house of Israel living in. And they proudly have it as a museum. And if you see the whole picture of it, you can see with your natural eyes that Africa had a big role in this. And look how they did the people. The women had to sit in one little tiny room, cycles and everything. They couldn't bath. They couldn't do anything. They had to eat. They had to piss. They had to do everything right there. This was Africa. This wasn't. They were over in Africa. This is Africa doing this. And I don't know where the Israelite, I can't even say Israelite anymore. I don't know where the Israel and Judah think that Africa is the place and putting them all above, and they don't even understand the real truth of the matter of who transferred you into the ships of slavery. Africa did it. Africa. That Ham lineage that you keep running your tail over, seeing that y'all have the melanated skin, so you just assume. And honestly, we are some kin because that's Noah's son, but we can't say that we are them. You see, we can't just say that we are. You know, you hear a lot of these black men, Pan-African, and they really don't I don't understand what will make them go over there without learning and seeing the history of how they made that connection with the British and Iran or Iraq and other countries. It wasn't Russia, America. How they made that transporting us to them. Africa did that, y'all. Africa. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. And the Father says to me, now you're learning. You know what? You all, guess what I'm learning? I'm learning that no matter what I say out of my mouth, it's going to either be close to 99.9 or 100. You know, and I was just explaining to somebody today. 4 people less than 1 month. 1 month. That was last month. 4 people then came to me and said something I've said within 32 years and under. And I'm thinking, okay, I know I said it because I can still remember saying it. But the thing about it is they're bringing it back up to let me know it was exactly the way you said it. My calling is not to say I told you so. I told you. No, it's just to say what was given to me in that day and time to give the individual, because a lot of times people think that they could say and do and conduct themselves just any old way, and they don't understand who's who and what's what. They don't understand, baby. You don't even know who you're in the midst of, you know. And I said all my life I have always felt that way. I said if only they knew who I was. I always said that. I always said, even when I was on jobs and people said, well, why they don't do you like that, Miss Brown? Why they don't do you like that, Miss Brown? Sometimes they say, Miss Deborah. Every place I've went, males and females always question why people don't. Me in a working environment, they always said that to me. Every job I've ever been on, people always wonder, why is it people don't bother me? It was the hedge of my father that has been around me since I was a little girl. And I give him glory and honor and praise. And I thank him even to today, even though it was hard because I wanted to, I guess, be amongst them. But he didn't choose, he didn't chose that for me. So he put something around me to keep any and everyone away from me, but yet in a way that I could still fulfill what he had birthed in me. So this young man here, this young man, he's my age, but going back over to Africa, he done moved over there. He talking about what he got. I got this, I got this. Now you start to hear the cry. Now you start to hear the reality. If you go listen to it today, it says go back to Africa and you can hear him. He's on there. He's normally not on there that long, but he's taught. One thing that got me, a lot of things he's saying, I'm like saying, okay, now you know what else he said, y'all? He said that the Most High God has been dealing with him since he was a little boy. Since he was a little boy, he sure did. And he said he's shown him things to where he knew that he had a relationship with the Most High, to where he don't need nobody telling him this, because the Holy Spirit is there. You see what I'm saying? How many times have Sister Deborah told you that? Don't put your trust in Sister Deborah. Don't put your trust in these pastors, these leaders. They're on this devil. Now, let me tell you something. They close these devil platforms, these pastors, these bishops, these apostles, these prophets, these prophetess, these priests, all of them. Maureen, they all sit down on y'all because they wasn't working for y'all. They would all sit down. Why? Because y'all can't give them the glory no more. Y'all can't give them no praise. Y'all can't give them no honor. They can't get no check no more. You see? They can't be famous no more. They can't be gripping being fame, you know, just like the world. It's no different, you guys. Look at Joy Smile, TDJ, TBN, and all of them. Cliff O'Dollars, Eddie Long, he's gone, but all of these other European shows that talk about they worship Yah. Never did. But did you see Yah move them? That's why I try to tell y'all. Y'all ain't gonna move them because they sold out to the darkness. So why is he gonna move their darkness? Move them? They the darkness. They represent the darkness. He ain't gonna move. He gonna leave them right where they at. You heard Cliff O'Dollars talk about all them years he said about tithes. He found out that it wouldn't pay the people back their money. Huh? He ain't gonna do that. See, that's righteous, but he ain't gonna do that. See, this is what I'm saying. But the people still what? Praising him, glorifying him, uplifting him, giving him glory. That's why I tell you all, the fathers have said, Deborah, it's okay. What makes it okay? Okay, if I suffer deceivers to come down onto the earth, don't they need those they can deceive? Yeah. Well, that's why you see deceivers having a multitude of those they can deceive. See, that's what you call crossing the T's and dotting the I's of the Most High, higher with his right hand. See, you want to act this way? Wait a minute, let me give you a little help here, so you can fulfill your mission of darkness and wicked. Okay, now it's kind of sad because this man is now seeing, now that he's residing in Africa, he's living, things are working for him. Now he's going around dealing one-on-one with people, and he don't like the feeling because he said the minds are not there. They ain't never been there, bro. That's y'all putting Africa on Front Street and on the top. And even people talking about all the Europeans and the white people are moving to Africa. Everybody leaving the United States. Baby, I don't care what you leave. They're leaving so they can continue to slave you. They're not going over to Africa because They love Africa and Africa. No, we're going over there where we can control them. And they can keep us on the pedestal, which we were in the United States on a pedestal. But now United States has fallen. We're going to run over there. So those people can always put us and see us greater than they are or better than they are and put us up high. That's why they're going up there. They're going to Africa to stay in a land where they can rule it. That's it. They always ruled Africa. Africa ain't never ruled itself. Go to do some study. But see, you can't. The people who are melanated, they don't know how to do the study to the point of shaming those who lie, bringing it to the surface and telling the truth. See, they don't know how to do that. They would rather believe a lie and tell a lie to cover up the truth. Okay, so this topic that I'm on today is called Zion and Jerusalem shall be called holy. I want you all to understand that the Father has been dealing with me today on this topic because I spoke about it yesterday about Judah and Israel and Judah is going to be destroyed, the men. And the Father wants me to also cover the fact that even though the men are going to be destroyed, and he told the women that they would be, that he wants me to bring some understanding out of Isaiah chapter 3 and some understanding out of Isaiah chapter 4. Because even though he's going to allow them to die by the sword and the mighty men, he said to me to say now, he's saying this to me right now, is look at what is going on in the world. That's what the Father said. A lot of what I'm about to say, he want me to just make sure I put that forth. Look at what is going on in the world. And if you can't see Israel and the Judah, basically Judah, but Israel, and here in Isaiah and in Isaiah 3 and 4, it speaks of it as Jerusalem and Zion and Judah. That's, they all the same, but Judah is a different tribe from the whole house of Israel. But but they all want from Jacob. But he wants you all to understand, if you just open your eyes, and he's speaking of the natural eyes, and see what's going on. When you start to see all these things where these men are going down, this is representing Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. I have expounded on this so many times to where I think I might have covered it in a way that it could have gotten lost. But the truth of the matter, in the whole chapter of Isaiah 3, you can hear him dealing with men. Okay, men as in males. You can hear him also telling them that those who have led you, they have caused thee to error. And then he says what? And destroy the way of the path. He's talking to the men. And this is why I say you be very cautious and careful in the spirit realm out here, running behind what they are making you think that you follow a man. And that is one of the a horrible thing to think of in this day and time, because this is what Yah is about to deal with, is men. Okay, and the tribe of Judah and Jerusalem, he's going to deal with them. And in Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25, he let the women know, I'm dealing with your men. And he called them thy men. That's to tell the women, this is what I'm going to do to your men. And while these women running around here trying to hook up, trying to get a husband, trying to get detached to these pastors, these bishops that's calling themselves all this and all that, you better run the opposite way. Because if they're not teaching spirit and truth and not showing you the way to the light, You better run the opposite way from who they are. It's not about, and it's not on these platforms. You do not run to these platforms because they don't know the way. They don't know spirit and truth. They don't have the light. Okay? They don't have the spirit. Even though they saying it, they don't have it. Because the spirit of the Ruach HaKodesh would not be teaching men to hate. Will not be teaching men that it's time in the midnight hour. Yah is coming, and these men running around here trying to figure out how they can get more wives. They feel that it's better to teach the men about more wives, okay? How to be in control. A woman sits here and a man sit here. Stay under my feet, this and this and this. Instead of saying, wait a minute, y'all. The narrow gate we must try to see or show you the way. I tell you what, when we speak, and we either going to speak spirit and truth of the whole matter, or we going to just give you our wisdom, our knowledge, and our understanding out of the book in which we have mastered. And in mastering the book, you can only master it in the flesh. You cannot master this book in the spirit. You know why? Because the spirit of the Ruach is not concerned about you mastering a paperback book. He is concerned with you mastering who he is in you. So would you rather master a paperback book with every voice of everybody in it, or would you prefer mastering he that is greater in thee than he that's in the whole wide world? I don't know about you. I want to master the one that's greater in me. I want to master the words in which he has given me, the things that he has revealed to me, the things that he showed me through this book. You see? But I'm not going to master this book and use it and knock you across the head, the front of your head and the back, telling you every word in here is what I'm going to teach you, and it's going to stand. This book is not the word. The Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, is the word. And this is, I'm going to show you a prime example. I'm going to do it right now. Look at Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 4. How many of you have heard them say, listen to this, Isaiah chapter 4, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. In that day, 7 women shall take a hold of one man. How many of you all have heard the energy that's in these men, excited about that? Let me tell you something. In the last 4 going on 5 years, when I hear these men teach on that, they be over the hill. And guess what? Had it wrong all the time. Had it wrong all the time. They are teaching them. They are so caught up in this dark flesh meat, wanting flesh to be satisfied and get what it wants and rule and be king. Do you all know they are more 99.9 on this devil platform running around here talking about the Most High? Y'all, guess what? They find more pleasure in them being satisfied in the flesh than turning away from the flesh to turn to spirit and truth. In the spirit, they don't want no part of spirit and truth. They don't want no part of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, to teach them spirit and truth. They are resting in the flesh that gives them the authority, give them this idea that it's going to make me be a king, a leader, a ruler, a scholar, a teacher, a preacher, a pastor, a minister, an apostle, a prophet, a prophetess. I'm going to rest in the spiritual, and not in the spiritual, but in the flesh realm, because there I can get things done, said, get people to believe it the way that I see it, and where I will be comfortable. Now, in Isaiah chapter 4, it says, and in that day, 7 women shall take a hold of one man, saying, we will eat our bread, wear our own pearls. Only let us be called by the name to take away our reproach. Now, what they did not know is the flesh of man has drilled their mindset of them coming a day in Yah where Yah gonna let you have 7 women to one man. So even if the women ain't letting you rule them today, guess what? the way the Most High has orchestrated it, or he's going to let you have 7 women to one man. If that's not fleshly, I don't know what is. That's a prime example that you all have been following the flesh of man. It's a prime example that you all are following them. Let me tell you why. Because that is a part of their manipulation and deceitful spirits to rule over a female in a way and in an order the Most High has not created. And they are doing, I can't even say an excellent job, a dark job. Okay? Now, if they had any sense, they'll bump it up to Isaiah chapter 3. In Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25, it says, "Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. And her gates shall lament and moan, and she, being desolated, shall sit upon the ground." Thy represent women, your men. I don't care, said the Most High Yah, if it's your husband. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your father, your grandfather, your cousin, your uncle, your boyfriend, your whatever. I'm coming, and they going down with the sword, and the mighty men is going to be trying to fight the war, and they're going to die too. Said the Most High Yah to the prophet, down to this prophet, it shall come to pass. Now watch this here. That's how you got Isaiah chapter 4. And in that day, in the day when Yah caused Judah and Jerusalem to, what it says in 25, fall by the sword and the mighty men in the war. What do that mean? Kill, destroy them, die, kill. So when you get to verse 4, Isaiah 4, after leaving Isaiah 3, you see Isaiah 4 said, it's letting you know, and what I was saying in chapter 3, he said, what I was saying in chapter 3 of Isaiah chapter 3, he said, and in Isaiah chapter 4, and in that day when that happened, when he destroyed the men, 7 women shall take a hold of one man, saying, we will eat our bread and wear our own pearls. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. The Father wants me to tell every man on the face of the earth, you've been a liar, you've been a liar, and you've been a liar. A man cannot take away the reproach of anybody. Only the Most High himself. Now, taking away the reproach, a man cannot do that. Man cannot take away the reproach of a woman, okay? I know you all have been told that, but they can't. The reproach, they can't take away that from a woman. Okay, so that was the woman is saying to take away our reproach. They're saying that name. See, that name would take away the reproach, not the man. So it's not about a man having 7 wives. You do not see that on here. Because if you see it, it was said in that day, 7 women would be wives of one man. It didn't tell you that. Satan been a liar. He's going to remain a liar. It says in that day, in what day? When I kill a man, Deborah, tell them the truth. Shame not the devil, but shame them. Because they've been lying. They started this here, found awakening years ago on that same standards. And that's why a lot of them in the camps, a lot of them didn't drag these sorry men out on the field and telling them, you kings, you leader, you rulers, how can you be anything if you are in prison? If you are in prison and you are a king, a leader, and ruler, how? You're in the land of your captives. These are names and title in which these men has given themselves to whoop you up and whoop you down. And they have done a successful job of doing so. They have misled, deceived, and still running for the check from the Satan to give them every month from YouTube as they deceive you. Now listen to this. In verse 4 of chapter 4 of Isaiah chapter 4, once the women were saying what they would do, then they said, only let us be called by thy name. Only let us be called by thy name. They ain't not saying they want to be your wife. They ain't saying they are your wives. That's not what that's saying. Now watch this here. To take away our reapproach. A man cannot take away a woman's reapproach. But the power and anointing of the Most High Yah can. Now you're going to find out, all these years they've been telling people that it's going to come a time, I can't wait, when the Father's going to give 7 women to each man. And then y'all going to be in control, because y'all going to have to do what we tell y'all to do. And submit. Now watch this here. Verse 2. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 2. In that day. Now what day is that? What day is he talking about? Let's hear. Isaiah chapter 4 verse 2. In that day shall the branches of Ahiah be beautiful and gorgeous, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped. Them that are escaped of Israel. They have escaped. Remember Isaiah chapter 3 verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword. Who is that? Judah and Jerusalem. And what else? And tell them, Deborah, they mighty men, Judah and Judah and Jerusalem. They're going to die. And this is why in Isaiah chapter 4 keeps saying, in that day, when they die. And then it says in verse 2, for them that escape, those that is not going to die, of Israel, they're going to be beautiful and glorious, the branches. In verse 2, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 2. In that day shall the branches of Yah be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. See that escape? So those men that's going to be escaped, let's see what's going to happen to them. They're going to escape what? The war and the sword. The men going to die, y'all. It matches Deuteronomy 28 end game. Shall be destroyed. See, that's why I say that's why I say it's really sad that they flipped everything. But it's okay. The Father said, whoever they flipped it to, let them keep flipping. Okay. And verse 3. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion, and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy. That's what the women said. To take away their reapproach, they want to be called holy. That's the name. Holy takes away their reapproach. And this is what they were saying. Just let us be called by that name. What name is that? Holy. Now watch this here. In verse 3, Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy. Even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. They're going to be called holy. They're going to escape what the men of Judah and Jerusalem is going to experience. And what was that? Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, women, and thy mighty men that be up in your face thinking they tough. Won't you think they tough and they bad? How they going to die? They're going to die in the war. Why? What's the difference from those who are going to fall by the sword versus he that's going to fall in the war? Because there are men today. This is what the Father is saying. There are men today that you see on these devil platforms. They're preparing for war. They're preparing with all their guns and their weapons, trying to show everybody in the world that, look, we're going to hold our own. They don't need y'all. They don't need y'all. When you can trust in what you have to fight the battle, this is why he got it covered here in Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war, because they're going to fight like it's a war, and they're going to lose their life. It's no such thing as winning. They're not going to win. They're going to die. And him saying, thy men, he's letting you women, you run your tail behind these men. You run your tail up and down, and you don't teach your son. You don't bring it to the surface. Spirit and truth. Y'all, it's not telling you to get behind a man and deny spirit and truth. You speak loud. That's what time it is. It ain't got no such thing getting behind them and not speaking spirit and truth, letting these men speak to you all a lie because they want to check. They want to be boast and boost and pride-minded. They want to be kings, leaders, and rulers. They want to travel all over the world. And when you finish, you don't, the worst thing you should be trying to do is travel all over the world. You know why? Traveling all over the world, and the Father tell the prophet it's over, it's finished. You traveling all over the world, you still doing you. You in your flesh. You enjoying what you think you're doing because you making your own mission for yourself. Because y'all said, how are you going to travel all over the world and you ain't gave spirit and truth to those that's in your own household the correct way? But you're going to travel all over the world, huh? And this is why the people look like zombies to me. I know it. You all might not see it, but I can. And it ain't meant for you to see it if you can't see it. When I see these people sitting in the pews, a lot of them have men on one side, women on the other side. I don't care how you try to paint the picture and make it look like you so into order and you got everything so together. All I see is zombies, dead spirits. That's all I see. That's all I see. Now, somebody else, they might see people full of the Holy Spirit. I see dead people like them to zombies. And the Father told me the last couple of days, it's okay for me to say that. That's what I see with these eyes. While you thinking you got a whole bunch of people listening to you, they dead. Because the light has not sprung up in them. Because see, another thing, you guys, once you have received the Holy Spirit, you ain't got no business sitting. Having the Holy Spirit is a quicken. It'll have you running. You just can't hold that thing. But see, people don't know nothing about that. They think it's supposed to be just for me. This is mine. Oh, this is my Holy Spirit. I'm going to keep it to you, flesh. Because the Holy Spirit in which the Most High endowed one with, let me tell you, it's like a fire all caught up in your bones. It can't keep still. It can't keep still. But when you are submissive to loudmouth deceiving men who think it's important to splatter water all over a person and the people still lose their spirit to damnation, because that's not the key. The key is they got to be indulged, baptized by the fire. You get it? They got to be baptized by the fire. See, they don't know nothing about that. They think the water is good enough. I've done mine. Everybody praising me all over the world. Everybody glorifying me. Everybody put me on a pedestal. But see, this is where it's messed up from the floor. And you know what? The beauty of it, and I'm going to start saying that more and more, is the Father sits high and low and says, let it be. This need be, Deborah. That's the beauty of it to me. So as I read Isaiah, I see here that he said, those that survive in Zion and in Jerusalem, they're going to be called holy. You hear that, woman? You're going to be called holy. Now in verse 4, it says, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion. He's letting you know you're going to be called holy, women. You're going to be called holy. Like verse 4, Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 4, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem. That means the blood of purging the blood of Jerusalem is when up in 25, Isaiah chapter 3 and 25, when the men die by the sword and the mighty men die in the war, you drop down to 4, you see where he says, the daughters of Zion, where he's going to clean the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. We gets it through the spirit of burning, but the spirit of judgment is when he caused the sword and the mighty men to die in the war. Okay, and verse 5, and the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assembly a cloud and the smoke by day and the shining of flame fire by night, for upon all the glory shall be a defense. He's going to that is the journey to the promised land. You see, I mean, this is a part of the journey. Okay, this is a part of it. You see, these are the things he's going to do. And he said in verse 6, and there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covenant from the storm and in the rain. See, we got a journey to go on. But I like what he says here, because he's telling the women, he's telling you that he's going to purge you as well by burning. Let me see, did he say purge? He didn't say purge, but he said you're going to be, I saw here, there's one that's going to be, and in verse 4, chapter 4 of Isaiah and verse 4, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment. Okay, and the spirit of burning. So the spirit of burning is what the daughter's going to experience, and the purging of blood in Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment is what is going to be upon the men, and the women is going to experience that burning. Remember that scab and the burning of judgment. That's Yah's. But you know what? In it all, you ladies, I want to tell you something. And it's a sad thing that you all don't really trust him to be your teacher within you. Because if you trust him to be your teacher, he'll show you that the women are going to be in great numbers that's leaving out. They're going to out of the small remnant. Yes. And this is when the man, there's going to be men also coming out. They're going to be called holy. Okay. You're going to be called holy. They're going to be called holy. You all are going to be called holy in the eyes of the Most High Yah. We don't care what nobody else say. We don't care what way somebody else think. This is what the Father is going to do for us. He's going to call us holy. He's going to cleanse us, women. You see? So as you read Isaiah chapter 3, if you read the whole Isaiah chapter 3, it will blow your mind. You'll see him talking to men, letting them know, I do not care for the things y'all done. What I'm going to do about it. They won't teach you all that. They won't go over that. They won't minister that to you. Now, I want to say this to you all so you all can fully understand what I'm saying. Even though he's going to bring the sword upon Judah and Jerusalem, and the mighty men are going to die by the sword, y'all still got his. We have men on this earth that are already handpicked by the Most High Yah. Not handpicked by you, because you can't handpick them, but the Most High Yah. These are the mighty men that's already going to escape it. And Yah already said it. They're gonna escape Israel. They're gonna escape. Why? Because Yah already has them in the plan to come up out so he can labor them as holy. You see? So they're gonna come up and pull up, and all these other nonsense, these others out here getting your little check from YouTube and getting your praise on these TVs and these media. You get your glory. Get your glory, get your praise. Get your little check, get your honor. Get all that you need, because that's your portion. That's the end for you. A lot of them won't even believe that, but that's the end for them, because they feel it's better for them to get their praises on the earth than build up their treasures in the heaven. Not knowing, not caring. I ain't gonna even say they don't know. Do you all understand that our mission within us before the foundation of the world, you can clearly see it? Where you heading? Heaven or hell? It don't even seem like it should be a problem as it is with Satan. Let me see if I can show you this. Let me show you what I was reading in Revelation chapter 20. I don't think Satan, the prophet, the false prophet, I don't think none of them have a problem with hell. I don't think they ever had a problem. It's those who wants to pretend to be all that and some, and know they don't worship the Most High Yah, still want to role play it. They want to clown. Okay. Let me see if I can see that. When I read that, I was like, you mean to tell me? Yeah, let me read that. Revelation. Okay. Verse 9. Revelation chapter 20. I'm going to start with verse 9. Revelation chapter 20, verse 9, and I'm going to cover 10 and 11 and 12. Revelation chapter 20, verse 9. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compressed the camp of the saints about. And the beloved city, the fire came down from Yah out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast in the lake of fire and brimstones, where the beast and the false prophets are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. It does not show you nowhere in there that they had an issue where they was going. It just shows you that they was sunk there and that was it. That, you want me to tell y'all what that is? Let me kind of give some glory on that. The power. That's the power, y'all. That's that same power I keep telling you. You can't run around here and lick behind these boots of these men and women and deny my Father's power. You deny the power, you deny the name. You deny the name, you deny the power. See, a lot of people think they can swing that name, but baby, that name can't be swung unless that power is behind it. To swing it, in case you didn't know that. I know you didn't, but I thought I'd give you a little something. So a lot of times when people running around here running their rat mouth, talking about the name and talking this and this, baby, you don't even know the power, let alone the name. So this is where it's a problem in the world, where everybody is chasing the name. Okay, you chasing the name, but what is this one that's in you greater than he that's in the world? So while you chasing the name on the outside, something is going on in the inside that's greater than what the words you mumble jumbling on the outside, because you're in the flesh. You got to step in the realm of the spirit, you guys. Now listen to this. What got me is Revelation said it's so smooth. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm thinking they're going to do this. They go, bow, bow, wow, come on, let's do this. No, they went straight where they destiny. They ain't arguing and forcing and buckling up, because they know who the Father is and they know the power. Let's kind of dig in a little bit deep. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 10, and I'm going to show you why it was simple for them. Revelation chapter 20, verse 10, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstones, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. You know why they ain't say nothing? Want me tell y'all why it was so easy and swift for them to go into their eternal destiny? They don't mess with that power. They know who that power is. They don't buckle up, nor will they buckle down on that power. But this nasty flesh on this earth, they don't have no respect for the Most High Yah himself and who he is, nor his power. When we tell you another thing, that fear. That's why you don't see no fear on the land. None whatsoever. No fear, none whatsoever. That's because the power has been denied on the earth. Because if you know who he is, then you know you better get your tail somewhere and sit down. You see, that's what you know. But when you don't know him, you get out here and you say things, you do things, you conduct yourself the way man, woman tell you. You caught up in everyone's flesh ways and have forsaken the Most High Yah and his power. Now listen to this. This really made me realize why Satan, the beast, and the false prophet got their tails straight. I mean, they didn't have nothing to say, and this is why. When you get to verse 11, Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11, and I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heavens fled from. Wait a minute. What's the earth? Wait a minute. The face of the earth and the heaven fled from the Father's face that sat on the throne. You see what I'm talking about? Fled from that power. You know why the earth? Let me get y'all into of what I'm saying. Listen to this. In verse 11, Revelation chapter 20 and verse 11, and I saw a great white throne, and he that sat on it. Now wait a minute. Hold up now. He's sitting. The Most High sitting on the throne. Now watch this here. From whose face the earth and the heaven fled away. The earth and the heavens fled away from the one that sat on the throne, his face. You see why Satan them knew what was what? What was the earth and the heavens fleeing for? They knew who that power is. They ain't messing around with that power. You see the mindset of our men and some of our women. They have no sense, no idea of this power is what you better fear. They don't have the spirit of fear that he's given us as one of his friends. They don't fear nothing about the Father because they don't know nothing about the power. That's why they got to be destroyed. You got to. Okay, so listen to this. Now the earth and the heavens got sense enough to flee from the face of Yah. Satan, the beast, and the Antichrist, they don't have no problem. They said, bye, y'all. He putting us down. He putting us where we belong. They ain't had no problem. But us, this flesh, we think we rule something. And I learned one thing, y'all. The only thing the flesh of man and woman rule is their bowel movement. And if they have to urinate, that's the only thing you rule. And half of you act like it. That's what your mouth is. And that's how you're leading the mass, the multitude. Okay, and then it says what? And there was found no place for them. Wait a minute, hold up. Why is it sounding so harsh? Because it's trying to get y'all to see that power of he that sits on the throne, who just put Satan, the beast, and the Antichrist into hell, and then here go the heaven and the earth took off running because they saw the face. And the face had to be looking away to say, let them know, look, I wish you would stand here. You're supposed to be out of here. You think they didn't flee? They flee. And what? There was found no place for them. See, they knew. Their time was up. They knew their time was up. Satan knew his time. The beast knew his time. The Antichrist knew his time. Everybody know their time is up with the Most High Yah. But here are our ugly tails. Like we don't fear that power. Like we got power and all this and that, giving these people all this authority, this honor and this here praise and power, giving it to the flesh of man. Okay, you good. You good. We're going to see what the flesh going to do in a minute. Okay, in a minute. Now, here we go in verse 12. We in Revelation chapter 20 and verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yah. And the books, you see where it says BOOKS. This is not the Lamb Book of Life. This is the book where 99.9 is going to enter in. So if y'all run y'all tails around here thinking that you're going to enter into the heavens because these people are telling you, guess what? The good thing is about it, the Father is giving you a chance to really dig deep within yourself to see whose side you are. Because I believe we all know where we stand right now in this day. Right now, today, right now, I think we all know where we stand. But we thinking he don't stand on us. We stand on ourselves. So therefore, he can't say nothing to me. You see? Because I'm a God. They praise me. They likes me. They subscribe to me. They honor me. They support me 100. You see? They have built up all their treasures right here on the earth. And all their treasures going to go where they're going, to the lake of fire. So here it is in verse 12. Revelation 20 and verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yah. And the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead was judged out of those things which were written. See that? See, that's another thing. You heard Yeshua telling Satan, it is written. So when you wonder what Sister Deborah is talking about, he taught her what took place before the foundation of the world. Check. There it is. It is written. It didn't start when this book, paperback book, came on online. And this ain't been here that long. So how are you going to say that's the word of Yah? That's the foolishness of man. They are so embedded in deceiving the people. They don't have no sense of any spiritual thought. And it reads, Revelation chapter 20 and verse 12, it says, the dead was judged out of the books which were written in the books according to their works. See, y'all thought y'all ruled it, didn't you? You thought you ruled, didn't you? Oh, this is my life. Nobody tell me what to do. I have one life to live and ain't nobody gonna tell me how I dress, how I eat, how I look. I run my life. This is my life. Baby, you ain't never had no life. You just too ignorant to realize that. And I like what he said. It is written, were written in the books according to their works. That, what I just said, gonna cause me to say I got to go. Because I know that went over y'all heads. Let's go there again so you can catch up with this. Okay? In Revelation chapter 20, verse 12, it said, let's go to the part where it says, and the dead were judged out of the things which were written. Written means past tense. That means, you guys, hear me. Heaven and earth. Written means before the foundation of the world was created, he had written your name, your mission, your purpose, and your works in the BOOKS. How you like him now? Do you understand why he tells Sister Deborah it is finished? Because it was finished in the heaven. Before heaven and earth was created, these books was present before the Most High God. Why do you say that? Read again. Revelation chapter 20, verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yah, and the books were open, and the other book was open. That's the Lamb Book of Life, which is the book of life. Now, here it goes. It's going to tell you about the dead ones, those who's going into the other books. And the dead were judged out of those things which was written, past tense, in the books, according to who? Their works. Father Yah, Father Yah, Father Yah. That's showing everybody on the earth what took place before the foundation of the world. That you had all power to orchestrate it, the beginning and the end, and all that's in between. So when you run your tail around here thinking he don't know nothing, you got it nailed, you the one lost. See, this is what I try to tell y'all. At 4 years old, he taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. Bam, there it is. And you see how the power that bees won't allow these so-called priests, bishops, apostles, teachers, prophetess, Maureen, seers, none of them to teach y'all today nor yesterday the truth of the matter. It's still held back from you all, so you won't know. That spirit and truth, y'all. It's been held from you. So what it leads me to realize that everybody that's saying I'm saved or I have the Holy Spirit, I have the Ruach HaKodesh, kick that mess to the curb. They don't have nothing because they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. And then this here man go pull up a couple of days ago, teaching to his congregation. If you didn't get Genesis 1:1, and you don't get Genesis and what it said in Genesis chapter 1, I'm like, said, Father, did not you give me that to say? It's not that it's okay for him to say it. It is okay because it's righteous. But it's just letting you know, look what midnight hour we in. And y'all still pouring out mercy and grace, giving you another opportunity to hear what the prophetess is saying and hear others that's bouncing right along with her. You see? And everybody just riding on into the sunset, waiting for the great white hope to come take them and put them in a relationship with the Most High in words and out of this book. And hear this book. This is awesome, Father. I like to thank the Most High. I really do. I like to thank the Most High for just showing that to me. I did not know that, child. I did not. Now, listen to what I'm saying. The way he taught me what took place before the foundation of the world lines up with this. That's what I'm saying. But to see, this is what he said, Deborah, this need be. It's okay. I'm not coming. It's finished. It's always been there, y'all. It's always, these men and these women would never have told y'all that it's showing you right there that everybody's destiny had already been written in the books or in the Lamb Book of Life. I try to tell people that's what the keys to the kingdom was, what Peter had. That's the keys that Sister Deborah received. You see? But people choose to go and follow. But it matches up with everything because this is a way people were from the beginning of time. He destroyed the world and came back doing the same thing they did before they destroyed. That's why you see it here. He's showing you, see? I destroyed it the days of Noah. And look, Yeshua came back and told me it's going to be like the days when he comes. So see there, it's over, Deborah. See, they thinking I'm going to come and send somebody, or I'm going to send another prophet, or they this and they that. I got the Ruach this and I got to do. He said, you just keep on fooling yourself and playing with yourself if you want to. Because that's a pretty much of what you're doing. Here it tells you exactly what Sister I taught that lesson 3 times, what took place before the foundation of the world. And there it is. I never took this verse out of Revelation chapter 20, verse 12. But I thank the Most High. It shows me, see, Deborah, the light has always been there. And guess what, Deborah? It has always been on. The light has always been on. Because here it is telling you. I never knew, you guys. I never knew that there was 2 books. I mean, there was a book of life and there was other books. And then it's telling you it was written. And guess what? This is the part y'all missing. which were written. It was written before heaven and earth was created. Before this book, before Genesis, it was already written. And then what did it tell you? Watch this here. In the books. It was already written in the books. Who was that? Every one of y'all following Satan, you already in there already. You was following Satan before you even got down here. See, that's what I try to tell y'all. That's the keys to the kingdom. You want to know what the keys are? That's the keys to the kingdom. See? So you can't go around saying you got the keys. You ain't got crap because you don't know that the kingdom been finished. Everything was already written. The Father had everything written. And listen to this is what really gives it up. According to their works. So you think you come down here and you gonna work for y'all? You gonna do something, you gonna work and you gonna do this here? And he's telling you right here. This book was sitting here showing you according to their works. What did Sister Deborah said in the last two videos? You should know where you head. You should know who you represent already before you even get up out of here, before you even pass away. You should already know, oh, am I in the lake of fire or am I in the heavens, eternal heavens? Am I in the eternal lake of fire or am I going in the eternal heavens? You should already know because it is written. Based on what? According to their works. What are their works? I send my servants down there to tell y'all what's what. I don't expect you to listen. I don't expect nobody to support. I don't expect nobody to like or subscribe my servants because they are already written in the Lamb Book of Life. Everybody's where they were to be before heaven and earth was created. I try to tell y'all, go back to the videos teaching you all about what took place before the foundation of the world. There was a war going on in heaven. And everybody that came down here, y'all had already placed your name in the book that he knew that you was going to get down here and how you was going to conduct yourself and your works were going to be in the book already because you're not about him. He knew that. He know what book he put you in and you should know what book you in too. And that's what Sister Deborah been saying in the last two videos, telling you, you should at least know where you stand today in Yah. We all should know where we stand today in Yah. But if you don't know, it's because you don't want to accept the fact that you're subject to be in the books. And those are the books for the lake of fire. But if you're doing the will of the Father and you're doing the best, what did he say? I like what he say. Give me all your mind, your heart, your strength. I like that. Because that's what people refuse to give him. All of that. But yet they say, he's so great in us. He has the Ruach in us. He's all that in me. I got this. I got that. But have you given him all your mind, all your heart, all your strength? You know what that mind, heart, and strength is? It's spiritual. It's connected to your spirit. He don't want your mind in your flesh. He don't want your heart in your flesh. That goes to the grave. He don't want your strength in your flesh. And this is another way of seeing who you stand for, who you represent. I even explained to the people and honestly, that was a message. I only did it once though. Ooh, that's kind of sad, ain't it? Out of all the time I've been on YouTube, I've only covered it once in its fullness that I know of. And that's when he said, build up your treasures in the heaven. That the moth can't eat up or the thief can't steal. Building up in heaven. And everybody act like they don't know who he's talking about and what he's talking about. But if you don't know what he's talking about, it's because you're not who you think you are. And going back to what I was saying to y'all, you should know now where you stand. What side of the fence are you on? Because the way your actions, how you move about, the things that you do, These people are building up treasures here on the earth because they think the earth is going to be their heaven. They really do. And they supporting all wicked and evil 100 times 100. And I see it all on YouTube, how everybody is supporting the wicked and evil. But the servants of the Most High Yah, they turn the other way. But guess what? In heavens, they are to support. It's already written who they are to support. They are to support when they get down here. They don't understand when he say to give a drink unto a prophet, you receive a prophet reward. They don't understand nothing like that. They don't understand. They don't understand Yeshua when he said to the angels, the ones that were the Lamb, and he brought them to the throne, to the place he said heavens were prepared for you before the foundation of the world. And they told him, when I was hungry, you fed me. Everything had to do with giving. Everything had to do with giving. Giving who? Yeshua. The least of them, which were those who are connected to the lamb, the sheep, which is not, we're the sheep, the lamb, which was Yeshua. Yeshua began to tell them, you gave me this, 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 you gave me this. And the angels were right at the throne of Yah, and they asked Yeshua, when did we do that? And when did we give this to you? He said, when you got done it unto the least of the righteous one, you have done it unto me. And you all are out here supporting any and everything out here. People do not know. You should know where you stand today. Sister Deborah, let me tell you where I stand. I stand before the Most High, not perfect, not sinless, not excellent. You know, I stand before the Most High with everything he has branded in me. I cannot gain the glory. I cannot gain the honor. You see? Why? Because he branded in me. So how should I get the glory and honor towards something he put in me? To connect himself to me. So I stand before the Most High, knowing who he is, who he was, knowing who he was before the foundation of the world, knowing who he is, knowing who he was. That was before the foundation of the world. Knowing who he is who he is today. Knowing who he gonna be, hey, that's a monster. That power is gonna be a monster. That's where I stand before him. I don't stand before him perfect and excellent and sinless and no. I stand before him as a servant of his, called as a prophetess. And guess what? Standing before the Most High as that prophetess means nothing. Means nothing. That's the mission for the earth. To connect the earth, the people on the earth, to a servant of Yah. But to Yah, standing as a prophetess, I can't stand. Let me take that one off. I can't stand. Why? He's seeing my spirit, y'all. He knows my flesh is loaded with all kind of things that's not pleasing to him. Do you think do you think I'm caught up in how, if my head wrapped? If my clothes is appropriate for the eyes of some flesh man? When these men are looking at men and looking at little babies and looking at little girls and grandmamas. So you think that I have to dress a certain way to keep the lust out of the heart of a man? You think I have to look a certain way or act a certain way, talk a certain way, and shut my mouth because some flesh of a man says that's the way they understand the book of a man? No. When I stand before the Most High this day, I do not stand before y'all perfect. I do not stand before y'all excellent. I do not stand before y'all sinless. Why? Because I stand before the Most High two ways, flesh and spirit. Now, in the flesh, I just labeled it. But let me tell you what I stand before him in the spirit. I stand before the Most High Yah blameless. I stand before the Most High Yah with the brand of righteous belief, faith, and fear branded in me. It was branded in me before the foundation of the world. Okay? I stand before the Most High, giving him honor and glory for who he is, who he was, and who he's going to be. So what did that tell you all? I know who he is. And if you think it's wrapped in a name that you want to call him, you go right ahead and wrap him up and wrap him down in the name that you want to call him. I know him beyond the name that runs out of your mouth. Okay? So I'm standing before him as a servant of his. Or I can't even stand before him as a prophetess. Why? Because I'm called as a prophetess in the spirit. I called as a spirit servant, a servant called to the world as a prophetess of the Most High Yah. That's why you can't forsake what you've been called from heaven to be on the earth. So when I come back and I'm standing before him, I can't say, well, I'm your prophetess. No, you my servant. You are my child. You are my elect. You are my anointed one. You're the one I appointed before the foundation of the world. That's who I am in him, before him. And I forgot to tell y'all, he finds me blameless. Why? Because I'm branded for his name's sake. Not for the men on this earth, the flesh of women on this earth. I sit back and I was thinking something that came to me the other day about how you only have this one breath of life that he's given you. And if you're going to live it the way the flesh of somebody tell you, you take your tail on and live it, baby. Because when it comes down, it's going to show that it's nothing about your spirit that represented the Father. Because you were so busy trying to look the road, act the road, talk the road, eat the road, walk the road, and don't even understand that road that you're trying to walk, talk, eat, look, and appeal, it goes straight to that nasty ground. What you got going on in the spirit realm? Come on, pull up with that power. Come on, let's talk about that power and how excellent is his power, how great is his power. How he's worthy to be praised. Do y'all understand he created all things? No, you don't. You're so busy hearing the loudmouth men that want to teach you polygamy, teach you baptism, and you don't even understand you got to be baptized by the fire. Going down a wet devil, a dry devil, going in a wet, coming up a wet. Sitting on the pews. I'm sitting here with the gift of discernment. And I'm looking at these people. I said, Dad, these people look like they dead. Like zombies just sitting down. They dead. And every time I look at them, that's what they look like. So I just come to the conclusion. As he used to tell me all the time, you see where? Deborah, you see where? Because I can't see nothing else. I don't see no light in these people. I don't see nothing spiritual in these people. You ain't got no business sitting 5, 10, 15 years listening to a loudmouth man. If y'all called you, appointed you, and anointed you, you're supposed to be about your father's business by now. You're supposed to be about your father's business. You're not supposed to be on this Deborah platform listening to Deborah day and night and day every time she get on here. You're supposed to be about your father's business in your household, in your neighborhood, in your community. But that shows you're not representing who you think you're representing. Many needs to go to the altar and really find out, who am I? Because the truth be told, we have forsaken everything the Creator stand for. And I think honestly, I think that's the worst of the worst on the face of the earth. And I think it's wrong. That everybody think that's okay. That's why everything they doing is plainly seen. I sit back and think about the $51 billion, I thought they say it was, that the United States they gave Africa last month. And I'm like saying, was it last month or a month before last? Wait a minute. Why are they giving that to them? So that we can go in there and keep controlling them like we want. We ain't really gave they tell us nothing. They just too stupid to tell y'all we ain't gave them nothing. We so used to ruling them and controlling them. We make people who they are. I think about Michael Jordan. It wasn't nothing. Let me tell y'all something. Woo, Father, y'all. It wasn't nothing Michael Jordan did to make him who he is. A system made him who he is. I never could understand. And I was the type of person, when I get into watching some sports, I'm in it. And I guess because of that discerning spirit, that's another side that made me see things different than somebody who's been watching basketball all their lives and know the game. When I get in it, I see things. I say, why ain't the guys seeing this? Why can't they see this? Don't they see this? When Michael Jordan played, they made his way clear so that his shots can be swift. His movement can be excellent. You see, if they really played the game, bring his tail to the street corners, he'll lose every time. The world make you who they want you to be. And you make a fool out of yourself chasing the world in what they want you to be. So people, Beyonce, JC, Kanye, none of them. And I'm saying them as, how would I say, Negroes. They lost anyway, so it don't matter with them. But anybody, ain't none of them been nothing. Just as the same thing about the Gentiles. They are who they are because of who we are. They ain't crap. You see? But because of who we are, that's who they are. They are who they are. So a lot of times people don't understand that and they ain't going to. And you know what? That's another video. Let me get off of that because I can get real deep in that. So when I used to look at Michael Jordan, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Why ain't nobody checking him? Why ain't nobody fouling him? Hold up, wait a minute. That stuff used to Sister Deborah used to say, oh no, couldn't get it. Same thing with football. I love football. I used to play football and I could not understand. How is it that they're not stopping the runners? Why is the runners going straight through the center? I know they're trying to get the first goal, but still in all, none of it made sense. And more and more I look at it today. No, I don't look at it today no more. I don't even look at it no more because I see and I have seen. And I think that might be, you know what, you guys? I think it might have something to do with the spirit of discerning. It wasn't that I was able to discern certain things, just as it says, and Yeshua said, when the Holy Spirit comes, it was going to be a comforter, it was going to be a revealer, it's going to show you things to come, and it's going to teach you. It didn't say just teach you. It didn't say just teach you. It didn't say just teach you. It says teach you all things. And I think that's what the spirit of discerning is. It didn't just let you discern the things which were spiritual. It let you discern the things which were spirit and natural, evil and good. It lets you discern things. So there's a lot of times I would even get in conversation with people and I'd be telling them the reason why I stopped watching basketball, why I stopped watching football. And they'd be saying, so how did you know about that? And I mean, I talked to Gentiles about it as well. I talked to brothers too about it. And they'd be saying, well, how did you used to watch games? You know what? Yep, they were doing it. And then they begin to tell me the years they've been doing it, the year that they started playing it like that, the year when they start putting politics in it, then that's when they start sharing it with me. A different other reason of why they were tampering with the game itself. But I used to love to see a good game. And baby, them years been gone. Them years was gone a long time ago because they made the game what they wanted to be. You should be able today to go to a good baseball or basketball or football game at any time and get a real good game. Not no more. Them days are over. Them days are over. Why? The Europeans have stripped and it's going back to the Roman Catholic power, they have stripped everything that's decent and enjoyable from the people by putting trash, crookedness, politics, drugs, alcohol. See the sport players always drinking and alcohol accident, beating their women and all this sort of stuff. They allowed all this in here, and they kind of ushered it in here because that's how the game had flipped. The game turned out innocent as it was back in the days, and now it has flipped to a lot of wicked and evil, to where you say, forget it all. All of it is a hoax. All of it is wicked. All of it is just out there. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in today, and I hope you got something out of it. But I wanted to tell you all something. I didn't write. I didn't know. Reapproach. You remember in Isaiah when the women were saying to take away our we want to be called by that name, to take away our reapproach. Reapproach means disgrace. Okay, it means shame and our scorn. Only one could have done that but Yah. So that's the holy, was to take away the shame and the disgrace and the scorn. Only one could have did that is holy, which is Yah. And that's what he told them. But you're going to be holy. He turned the daughters into holy. And the men that came and escaped, he called them holy. Okay, so that's what reapproach, taking away the reapproach. It can't be something a flesh of a man can do, as they were saying, one man to 7 women, so he can take away her he can't take away her reapproach. Only the Most High Yah. So I, Sister Deborah, hope that you all got something out of that. I did. I learned something, and it's pretty much, I'm gonna go back. And I was something else. One more. I got the time right here. I got a few more minutes. And something else. Anybody in the live chat, if you have any questions, you can shoot it up, and I read it and see if I can answer it before I end tonight. You know what I did in Isaiah chapter 3 when he was how would I say it, correcting the ways of and purging, in a sense, the daughters of Zion. I noticed something, y'all, that many of you all will never ever own up and look at and check it out. When he purged the daughters of Zion, he took them out of their clown clothes. The Most High Yah took the daughters of Zion out of their clown clothes. The bunny, the hat like this here, the wraps over their head, and the things that they put over their face, those women, all that, and them long dresses. When he took that off of them. Why? Why would you strip them from that, Father? Why would that be a part of your purging them? Because y'all know that was the tradition of man. That was man doing. He knew that. Because I'm like saying, why would you take them out of the garment in which these men been telling them they had to have their head wrapped, they had to and over in Iran or Iraq, whatever, they got the women's covering their face. Baby, let me tell y'all something. The sin that's on the face of the earth, the sin that's on the face of the earth ain't looking at your ugly self. These men are looking at me in the tribe of Judah. Yes. You see? So when you running around here rapping and trying to look like a mock, you go right ahead. Because when you finish, these men are not looking at you, even though you get at home talking about my hair is for my man, my body for. When you finish, he looking at everybody else's body. That shows the foolish fools or you all are. He lusting and desiring everybody else's, because that's just what they are. But yet they got you wrapped down, up and down, talking about saving you for him. I'm not telling women to walk out here and dress, because you know what? When you have the Holy Spirit, it'll dress you himself. The Holy Spirit will dress your butt quick. Walk out of the house inappropriate. That Holy Spirit will tell you, where you going? Don't you think that's a little too short? Well, what about right here? No. You don't need to go out like that. You see, he don't need no man to tell you, because he know that these men telling you how to dress while they out here looking at everything under the dress. And even little girls. Y'all, this is what you call truth be told. So I, Sister Deborah, would say to you all, did anybody have any questions? All the day, forever, for every day. Yes, yes. See, and see, the thing about the fear is a brand. It is a spiritual brand that he brands in you. Okay, that's because he knows you. He knows your name, meaning he know you represent him. So he put righteous belief, fear, and faith in you. That's what's going to bring you home, because this is a harsh world. He got to get you back home. So he had to brand those things in you so you can make it back to his bosom. And those are the brand. That's why when he had Abraham in the vision, he told Abraham, I already counted you in as righteous. He was already in there. And that's what I was saying, that a lot of these here loudmouth men, they don't understand. When you're talking about David, Abraham, Isaac, those are the bloodline of the spirit. They came down here already prepared to go back. So you can't go mimicking them, because you can't mimic them because they are of the spirit. I tell you what, only thing you can mimic is their flesh. So what you do, you go take in their sin and mimic it. You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate you, babe. I really do. Tuning in. Yes, I appreciate you being present. Yeah, just think, try to have a communication with the spirit of the Most High. Ask him if it be his will. Tell you what this little old lady was saying. Say, you can say, Sister Deborah. You can say, prophetess. This little old lady on that YouTube. You can call me whatever. Just ask, go before the throne of the Most High Yah and say, what is she saying? What is she talking about? You know, anytime I'm on here, you can always go to the altar of the Most High Yah so he can tell you who I am in him. Not who I am in the world, or how the world might take me or see me, but he will tell you who's who and what's what. That's how awesome he is. He show up and show out all the time. He's known for that. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, I will be back. So I say, shalom and shalom.